Have you ever thought of how it would be to live a life where you're free, fearless, and unstoppable? Imagine waking up in the morning, looking forward to the day ahead, enjoying a joyful, passionate life that you deserve. If so, our brand new Unstoppable, Renew You, Love Your Life 90-Day Coaching Program is for you. This is a balanced, well-crafted program that will guide you through a 3-step process over a course of 90 days that meets weekly, led by DrStem over Zoom. In 12 weeks, you'll get to the heart of what's holding you back so you can reset and refresh your life. The program is based on 3 pillars: inner healing, self-discovery, and self-development. Don't waste any more time putting off your heart's desires. If you want clarity and guidance as you step into your wholeness, join DrStem in this life-changing program. To be a part of the next group, apply at www.drstemy.com. Seats are limited. Go ahead and register. Now, here is DrStem.
It's time to shift from fear to faith, and I'm DrStem Marlatini. Introduction. I have learned that success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. Booker T. Washington. Unfortunately, a lot of people seem to be stuck in one place these days, paralyzed and unable to shift their lives due to fear. Some people are born smiling, confident, and unafraid of taking risks, but most of us have to work at it. In my work as a psychotherapist and life coach, and through my social contacts, I have learned that most people yearn for more in their lives, yet year after year, they find themselves at the same place, still yearning, still wanting more. In most cases, this drawback can be attributed to fear. Fear cuts us off from taking risks, pursuing possibilities, and making changes for personal or professional growth. Fear keeps us frozen in one place, and in many cases causes us to suffer from fear-induced stress. Many people wish that their lives would be different, that they could do better handling their finances, work, and family. I'm reminded of the women and men who stay in emotionally and physically abusive relationships, yet they are afraid to make changes. Their fear of the unknown is greater than their fear of the abuse. When I think of that kind of fear, I'm reminded of where I came from and where many of my fellow Africans are still stuck. Many are stuck working in nursing homes, providing home care services for the elderly and mentally challenged because they are afraid to make a shift. Obstacles like not having a valid work permit or a professional resume contribute to their fear of making a shift. Fear of moving to another job or opening a business or going back to school. I understand all of these worries. I've experienced them myself. I believe that we all want to be better each year, to achieve more and acquire more spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. I also believe in what Mr. W. Somerset Maugham once wrote. It is a funny thing about life. If you refuse to accept anything but the very best, you will very often get it. I believe it is time for each of us to accept nothing less than the best. I believe it is time for us to shift and commit ourselves to working towards creating the lives we dreamed of when we were young. What that means will differ for each person, and the amount of shifting that will be required will also differ for each person. All I know for sure is this: life is kind of like driving a car with a manual transmission. If you drive that car in only one gear, eventually it will start making unpleasant squeaking and grinding noises, a sign that the gear you're in is strained and is about to burn out. It needs to be shifted to the next one if you want a smoother ride. Countless mothers, fathers, Girlfriends and boyfriends are stuck in unsettling situations due to a fear of shifting that gear. Many have rocky relationships at work, with family, with their finances, or in their day-to-day lives. Their fear, even though it is real to them, turns out to be an excuse that keeps them in one gear, stagnant, miserable, depressed, and bitter. Here are a few common fear-based excuses or reasons people give for not making the needed shift in their lives. Do any of them apply to you? Fear number 1. My children will suffer if I get a divorce or leave my significant other. Fear number 2. I cannot change my job because I do not have the skills to get a better one, or I don't have the legal documents to work in the USA. Fear number 3. I cannot go back to school because it is too expensive or I'm too old. Fear number 4. I started my own business, but it was too much of a hassle to convince people to buy my product. Fear number 5. If I try to get a better job, my boss will not give me a good reference, so why even try? Fear number 6. Every year I set goals, but I can never achieve them for some reason. Something always gets in the way. Fear number 7. If only I had more money, I would do so much with my life. Fear number 8. I grew up in a family that doesn't believe in divorce, so no matter how much I'm abused, I have to stick with my marriage. Fear number 9. There's not enough time in the day for me to pursue my dreams and take care of my family and my job. Fear number 10. These are the cards that I was dealt in life. There's no way I can change my situation, so I shouldn't even bother trying. Many people rationalize and allow excuses to keep them stuck in fear mode for years, and in some unfortunate cases, for a lifetime. Let's return to our car analogy for a moment. Being stuck in fear mode is like being stuck in neutral gear. In neutral, you are stagnant. You're not shifting or moving in any direction. You are simply standing still while the world continues to pass you by. It is this stalemate that can trigger symptoms of continuous sadness, helplessness, depression, anxiety, or illness. Life has no meaning, and a meaningless life translates into an empty life. When someone feels completely empty, they tend to either stay in neutral or shift backward. Nothing seems to work. There is no joy in their lives and nothing to look forward to. That is no way to live. To begin letting go of your fears and shift to living on faith requires you to take a deep, close, honest look at yourself. Looking at the man or woman in the mirror, as Michael Jackson sang in his song, "Man in the Mirror," is what you need to do. Michael sang, "Take a look at yourself, then make a change." Making one small change in yourself will strengthen you as an individual and open doors and opportunities for you to make the additional shifts you need to live the happy, fulfilling life you were created to have. Do you really think God put you on this earth to be miserable? I don't think so. You're a child of God, my friend. You are meant to be happy, to share your love and gifts with others. That is your God-given mission in life. So the good news is that you don't have to let fear run your life anymore. In this book, we will review 10 steps you can begin taking today to strengthen yourself so that you can let go of your fears and fulfill your dreams. Taking these steps will set in motion your faith and increase every aspect of your life. Reaching this faithful and fearless mode will allow you to follow through with every dream you ever had and every ambition or goal you ever set, and to move into a life filled with peace, happiness, prosperity, and joy. With this newly acquired faith and courage, you'll be able to go for anything your heart desires, to risk it all and to have the smoothest ride of your life. Let's get started. Step 1. Identify your authentic self. Living with integrity means not settling for less than what you know you deserve in your relationship, asking for what you want and need from others, speaking your truth even though it might create conflict or tension, behaving in ways that are in harmony with your personal values, making choices based on what you believe and not what others believe. Barbara DeAngelis. The invitation to tell me about yourself is most often extended during job interviews. It's an important question, yet few of us ask it in other settings. Even more rarely do we ask it of ourselves. Your answer to "Who am I?" sheds light on your life and career path, your desires, your strengths, and your weaknesses. So, who are you? Are you sure about that? Our self-identity is constantly changing. Think about it. We have different identities at every life phase. We evolve from the innocence of our childhood years into the confusion and anticipation of our teenage years, into the excitement and challenges of young adulthood, and then into our midlife selves when we are busy with our own families and careers, growing later on into our wise senior years, complete with their empty nests. What a glorious, mysterious journey we embark upon in this lifetime. It's all about change, and the better we are at understanding ourselves at each milestone we encounter along the way, the happier and more fulfilled we will be. For most of us, the basis of our identity is found within our family of origin and is reinforced by any parts of our family history that are known to us. However, there are many whose identity cannot be based on their background because they have no connection to it. For instance, those who have been adopted and have little knowledge of their birth parents. Either way, we all have to answer the question, who am I? Many people will answer by saying they're a wife, a daughter, a son, a grandmother, or they will identify themselves by their profession. I'm a teacher, I'm a banker, or a student. But these are not the real you. The real you is that authentic, reliable, genuine essence that makes up who you really are. The real you is what makes you the kind of daughter, son, teacher, student, or banker you are. Once you open yourself to learning about who you are and what it is that makes you tick, answers will come streaming in from unexpected sources and places. I found my authentic self when I first arrived in the USA from Zimbabwe. I worked in a nursing home as a nursing assistant for 6 years. After 2 years of working full-time and going to school for a degree in computer science, I met a family that was bringing their mother, Miss Mary, into the nursing home. Miss Mary was in a wheelchair. She was crying and screaming at her children, asking them why they were not able to take care of her at her home and demanding to know why she had to be in a nursing home. She accused her children of not appreciating all she had done for them. It was a horrible thing to see and hear. I asked them to take Miss Mary to a private room where I sat and talked to the family and tried to calm them all down. I assured Miss Mary that we would take good care of her, that we would treat her with respect and dignity as if she were our own mother. I promised the children that we would do everything we could to make their mother comfortable and to help her feel at home. I spoke to them until the charge nurse ordered me to go back to my assigned work. It was heart-wrenching to leave them, but as I turned to go, I saw that Miss Mary had stopped crying, and she and her children were talking to one another without yelling. I made it a point to stop back by the room before I left that day, and I also went to see Miss Mary every day to make sure she was all right. I was just doing my job, but little did I know that I was on a path to finding my authentic self. One day, I stopped by to see Miss Mary, and she asked me what courses I was taking in school. I told her I was pursuing a computer science degree. She shook her head in disagreement and said, "You are not a computer person. You are a social worker." She went on to explain that the way I had spoken to her and her family when they arrived at the nursing home that first day, reassuring them and then following up to be sure she was all right, was exactly what social workers do. She told me that I was so at ease when talking to her and the family. It appeared to be natural for me to console and help others. It was something I was really good at. I had helped her and her family through one of their darkest days. I was shocked. First of all, I had no idea that I could make a living by talking to people. And second, I had no idea that I had made such an impact on Miss Mary and her family. It was a wonderful feeling. Miss Mary suggested that I speak to the nursing home social worker and ask her about a career in social work. I had long admired that social worker, this woman who always came in to help new families adjust to life at the nursing home. But I have to confess that what I liked the most about her was the way she dressed in pretty suits and high heels every day. I had no idea that what she did for a living was so exciting, or that I could actually be like her, and hey, even wear suits like her. The next day, I took Miss Mary's advice and spoke to the social worker. The woman was extremely negative about her profession and my chances of succeeding in it. She told me it was nearly impossible to get into any of the graduate programs without experience. She said it was especially difficult to get into the Boston University program that she had graduated from. Well, I went straight to Miss Mary's room and declared that I was going to be a social worker. And I even knew which college I was going to attend to earn my social work degree, Boston University. I was so excited to think that I could have a job I loved, a job I was born to do, that not even the social worker's lack of encouragement could stop me. To just be myself, talking to and helping people and getting paid more money than I had ever made before. My excitement and optimism overshadowed every bit of that social worker's negativity. I knew that if other people were able to get into Boston University's social work program, then it was possible for me too. I am proud to say that I am today a graduate of Boston University. When you know who you are, what you stand for, and what you want, you'll find that it is entirely possible to shift out of neutral and start moving forward with your life. Think about it. The shift you must make in order to find your power to see the light and shift into the next phase of your life, your work, and your finances is to move your attention from the outside world to the inside you. Know who you are, accept and acknowledge your own brilliance. Stop waiting for others to tell you how great you are. Believe it for yourself and about yourself. Today's small shift. Look yourself in the mirror and acknowledge that you are powerful and brilliant child of God. Know that you are the one who can determine how people will see you and remember you. Step 2. Set a personal vision and mission. In each of us are places where we have never gone. Only by pressing the limits do you ever find them. Dr. Joyce Brothers. I remember when I was in Zimbabwe, right after graduating high school, wishing and praying that I could get a visa to come to America. Everything I did, saw, and talked about was all about coming to America. That was my mission and vision. I saw myself in the USA, pursuing my education and becoming a doctor. I didn't particularly care what kind of a doctor. I just wanted to become a doctor and own my own business one day. Yes, I accomplished my mission, and now my goal is to teach others to believe in the power of setting a personal and mission vision too. Having a personal mission and vision statement shows how serious you are as a student of life. There has been research done by Richard J. Leiter and David Shapiro, authors of Repacking Your Bags, showing that the number one deadly fear for most people is having a meaningless life. Therefore, the question is this: what is a meaningful life for you? Do you have a vision of what life will look like? Do you have an idea what your mission for creating and living that life would be like? No, I can assure you that you're not alone. This reminds me of the most important lesson I learned when I attended the I Can Do It seminars in Tampa, Florida, several years ago. We were learning about attracting our ideal partners and attracting more money, happiness, and peace in our lives, when the facilitator asked us if we had a written mission or vision statement. There were about 300 people in that room, and not one of us raised a hand. Through those seminars, we learned that to attract whatever it was we wished for, it was critical that we first had an idea of what our ideal partners would look and feel like. That we had an idea of how much money we wanted to make. That we had identified what our ideal friends and community would be like. Writing mission and vision statements forces you to focus on identifying exactly what it is you need in order to reach your goals and dreams. Your personal mission statement. Your personal mission statement is a short statement of your life purpose. I encourage you to close your eyes and really focus on what makes you happy. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you become? If you knew money was not a problem, what would you do with your life? This will become your mission statement, a description of your dream life. This statement does not include the steps you'll take to accomplish this dream life, because that is what your vision statement will address. As you practice this exercise, ignore any thoughts of how hard it could be, how hard it is, or how impossible it seems. All you're responsible for at this time is writing down a description of the ideal life you desire. It is like ordering in a restaurant. All you're doing is placing your order to life, the universe, or your higher powers. What would you ask for if you knew that everything you have ever desired is available to you, and all you have to do is place your order? For some people, imagining their ideal life is an easy process, but for some, it'll be a little challenging. Don't worry, enjoy the process. When you're at peace, the path will become clearer. Remember, a personal statement is not written in stone, so there's no pressure. You can and should revisit it periodically, and you'll most likely find yourself revising and fine-tuning it time and time again. It is in this shifting and changing that you'll be able to precisely know what your purpose is. Praying, meditating, and asking your guides to lead you in this endeavor is critical. Whatever your system of belief may be, tap into that belief and ask for guidance. Asking questions like, who am I? Why am I here? What are my desires and dreams? What is my mission or purpose? Will help you formulate a personal mission statement that is tailor-made and ideal for you. I strongly suggest that parents and children alike take time to write their mission statements as a family, because many of our children are finishing high school without a clue of what their passions are and what they want to pursue in college. Gone are the days when people were respected and hired just for having any old degree. Getting a job has become fiercely competitive. The high cost of college education is also a big reason for aspiring college students to determine what their passion is and write a personal mission statement. To give you some food for thought, here's my mission statement: to inspire, motivate, and equip women and youth to reach their divine potential. your vision statement. Now is the time to add the entire how. The vision statement addresses all the specific strategies and activities you will pursue to accomplish your purpose or mission statement. This is when you specify the primary activities you'll pursue to accomplish your purpose. To do so, you will reflect on your unique passions, talents, personality traits, experience, and skills. My coach, Sasha Zerberg, is a stickler for short, concise statements. Therefore, 1 or 2 sentences will be enough for your vision statement. Just like everything else, your vision statement can also change over and over again, evolving as you grow mentally, physically, and spiritually. Remember, my current mission statement is to inspire and motivate women and youth to reach their divine potential. My vision is this will be accomplished by telecoaching, consulting, radio and television shows, writing articles, columns, books, and ebooks, publishing an online women and youths magazine, and by speaking at conferences and seminars. It is critical to have a vision statement because it serves as a compass to keep things going in the right direction. The vision statement also helps you know when to use one of the most important words in your vocabulary: no. If something doesn't align with your vision, then you can say no without guilt or hesitation. If that's all the vision statement did, it would be gift enough. But it does so much more. It helps you measure your progress, set goals, and establish priorities. It helps you to structure time and holds you accountable for accomplishing your goals. A mission and vision statement makes it possible to shift in your life, to overcome your fears and pursue your purpose. Accomplishing what we wish for requires some reflective thinking, looking at what it is you would like to accomplish, seeing yourself as having accomplished it, and celebrating the process that got you here. The key to successfully writing what steps you will take is to stop considering roadblocks and focus instead on solutions. Think of roadblocks only as things that challenge you to find ways to overcome them. There's always a way to conquer these fears that come up as roadblocks, as excuses for why you cannot pursue your ideal life mission. For example, outmoded values and cultural beliefs could be roadblocks that will come up as you determine what your vision is. What beliefs do you still hold that are not serving you at this stage of your life? What resentments do you still hold that block you from shifting to the next phase of your life? Let them go or let them drag you down. It's your choice. I encourage people to create vision boards as part of formulating their mission and vision statements. It is easy and fun to do. Take some magazines and cut out any pictures that symbolize something you want in your life or where you want to go with your life. Then glue them onto a cardboard to create a collage of your ideal life. Make it a family activity and help your children cut and paste pictures of places, people, work, cars, homes, and things they want to have in their life. This will fuel their passion for their studies because knowing why and where they're going is key to them staying and excelling in school. It is also key for adults to know why they need to shift in order to accomplish their mission in life. Refuse to let anything stop you from taking the necessary action to start envisioning and writing down what it is you want in your life. Come up with a mission and a vision, and from that, you'll create a set of achievable goals, which are specific steps you will take to accomplish your mission. Here's a simple process to help you set your goals. After completing my doctorate education in Florida, I decided to move to Massachusetts and open up my own business. I wrote down these ambitions as goals so that I could have direction. It also allowed me to measure and track my progress. Writing it down works Have you ever wondered why you set New Year resolutions and then a year later you look back and see you have accomplished none of them? It's because you didn't write them down as goals. If you write a list of life goals, you may find the right road to get to where you want to be in life. Here's how. 1. Identify your goal by writing it down. 2. Set a time frame for accomplishing it. 3. List what you need to do to achieve the goal. 4. Identify who and what you will need to work with to reach your goal. 5. List the skills and knowledge required to reach your goal. 6. Write down the steps you will follow. I am living proof that writing your goals and creating vision boards works. It works. Remember the quadruple Ds. It is difficult to reach your destination when you have not determined your direction. So first, determine your mission. Find your direction through creating your vision and enjoying your destination without difficulty. So first, determine your mission. Find your direction through creating your vision and enjoying reaching your destination without difficulty. Think about it. Not knowing your vision and mission in life is like setting out on a road trip with no atlas or destination in mind. You can be sure that you're going to end up somewhere, but will it be a place you'll enjoy? Today's small shift. Gather the supplies to make a vision board. A piece of poster board, some magazines, a pair of scissors, a glue stick, and some imagination are all it takes. Begin creating your board immediately or schedule a time within the next 24 hours to start. Vow to keep that appointment with yourself no matter what. Step 3. Harness the power of resiliency. Think you can't change the world? Too late. You already have. It was changed for the better the minute you were born. There are more people than you can imagine who never be the same because they came in contact with you, if only for a fleeting moment. Gail Purcell Elliott. At one time or another, nearly all of us feel pressured, pushed, and overwhelmed by all we have to do in our lives. The year 2010 has been especially challenging to many, with the economy taking a downward spiral and many people losing their jobs, their homes, and sometimes even their families. The stress level has been very high. An estimated 50% of all deaths each year in the United States are due to social behavioral factors, often connected with stress, such as smoking, drugs, and alcohol abuse, sedentary lifestyles, and diet. This is from McGuinness, 1993. Why have we allowed jobs, the economy, our families, our spouses, or anything else for that matter to threaten our health, emotional well-being, and happiness? Why do we find blame in everything and look for daily excuses for why we don't have what we deserve? Why do we try to blame everything but our own outlook for our own personal troubles? The difference between those who are relaxed and successful in managing their lives and those who are stressed, sickly, and negative is simple. It all comes down to their level of resiliency. Resiliency is how we keep it together in the midst of all the pain, roadblocks, illness, heartaches, and day-to-day stress and strife. Resiliency is also generally defined as strength in the middle of change and stressful life events. The ability to get back up when you fall, to get back on your feet when you're faced with adversity. It's not that the relaxed and successful people never have stress or difficulty. It's just that they have figured out how to manage it and bounce back from it. They are resilient. According to Larry Chapman, Nancy Lish, and Sandy Aiken in their article on Hard Times, Tough People. Resilience includes taking responsibility. Own the power of choosing an option when faced with any situation. You always have a choice. It's not what happens to you that is most important. It is how you choose to react to it that counts. You must take responsibility for what happens in your life. You are what you are, and you are where you are because of the choices you have made. Are your expectations high or low? Do you believe you deserve more or less? Do you believe you have what it takes to survive whatever comes your way? Do you believe that what doesn't kill you can only make you stronger? That there is a lesson in everything you're going through in your life? Do you consider yourself to be an ambitious person or a person who is driven to better yourself with a willingness to sacrifice time, family, and sometimes your health to pursue your ambitions? This is called taking responsibility. To shift to the next level of your life, you need to take responsibility for what happens to you, for the choices you make, and for the way you think of yourself. Understand the immense power you have within you to shift at any moment, to create and exercise the power to choose, choosing how you will perceive each situation, how you will expect to achieve greatness in your life, and choosing to believe beyond a shadow of doubt that you are even stronger than you were yesterday. You are capable of achieving so much with your life. It's time to shift from fear to faith, a faith that comes from believing that every failure is necessary to shift you to the next level so that you may become a stronger and more resilient person. Focusing on interpreting situations. Rather than focusing on your limits and confusion, reflect instead on your confidence and ability to achieve anything you put your mind to, and your potential to go beyond fears or excuses. Take any lemons that life has served you and make lemonade out of them. Review every situation in your life and study how you've been interpreting it. Then shift to a fresh interpretation. New ways of coping with your situation will naturally arise. I used to think I was the one in my family who was destined to work extra hard to get the tiniest reward, and yet once I committed to taking responsibility for who I had become and stopped blaming everyone else for where I was, I began to see within me a strength that I never knew I possessed. This power is within you as well. Believe in yourself and start seeing situations in a different light. Meaningful connections. I cannot begin to tell you how important it is to be connected to others if you want to have a meaningful life and make meaningful shifts. Studies indicate that having a variety of meaningful family and social connections can have a positive impact on your health and your ability to pursue a meaningful life. Individuality and self-determination are not bad qualities at all, but relying on and extending a hand to others will add value to your life. These connections can be formal or informal. It doesn't matter. They are prayer lines, social events, civic and faith-based organizations, and volunteer opportunities you can join that will help you deepen your relationships with others and yourself. Networking within these connections presents a vital opportunity to get support and expertise from others. Shifting and moving on to make your dreams come true is what you're striving for. You have what it takes to shift from fear of failure and fear of the unexpected to having the faith to fashion a life that sparks creativity and brings you into contact with new opportunities, new people, new hobbies, and new environments in which you can be happy and peaceful. Think about it. It took Thomas Edison many years of hard work and 1,000 false starts to finally invent the light bulb. A journalist once asked Edison how it felt to fail 1,000 times. Edison's reply, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." Aren't you glad Edison was a resilient person? Today's small shift. Think of one small thing you once thought would be fun to do, but you quit because it didn't come easy. Maybe you tried to bake a pie and it didn't turn out so well, so you never tried again. Or maybe you tried to learn to knit or paint a picture and you got frustrated and quit. Try that one small thing again today and stick with it till the end. Don't worry about the outcome, just finish it. Step 4. Develop an I can do it mentality. Heroism is endurance for one moment more. George F. Kennan. Endurance is the ability to withstand hardship or stress. It is knowing without a shadow of doubt that your life is what you make it. Have you ever written or spoke about fulfilling a dream and you felt really good about it in that moment, only to realize that after a few days that excitement has dwindled down to nothing? You were too busy, overwhelmed, and stressed to take the first step towards achieving that dream. While I understand that all of us have to work and care for our families, leaving little time to make changes in our lives, I do know that each of us is capable of making time for our passions and aspirations if we make it a priority to do so. I know that it will take endurance, precious time, commitment, and anticipation of abundant good to come out of your sacrifices. Pursuing your dreams and taking time to plan and coordinate what your life will look like while you achieve them is not considered at the top of the list of important tasks for many of us. Shifting your mental focus and finding ways to balance work, family, and personal time is key. It isn't always easy, but I know of many women and young men who have gone above and beyond their circumstances and reached their goals in spite of all the obstacles. Build up your endurance, that ability to make time against all odds to fulfill your mission and vision. Matthew 24 verse 13 states, "But he who endures to the end shall be saved." God does not promise salvation to those who fail to endure in the inevitable tests which come upon the people of the earth. Sacrifices always results in satisfactory results, so don't give up. Take losing weight, for example. Shedding pounds takes exercising, watching what you eat, and building on your mental stability and persistence. Once you put in that sacrifice, the result goes beyond mere weight loss. Your overall health and well-being and your ability to handle stress effectively are also results you'll enjoy. Endurance will help you shift away from the fears you'll encounter in different facets in your life. I know many people who for years have been stuck in situations they know are unsatisfactory. Whether it be a marriage or other love relationship, or a bad situation at work, or a flawed friendship, or bad finances, these people stay out of fear. In what bad situations are you stuck? What excuses do you find yourself making that prevent you from accomplishing any of the resolutions you have made or fulfilling the wishes and dreams you have? Are you afraid you don't have the strength to rise above the challenges? I can assure you that you do have the strength and endurance to outlast any bad situation, trial, or tribulation. Your strength and endurance comes from the most divine and omnipotent of sources, your Creator, the giver of all life. Remember that truth the next time you feel your endurance slipping away. Shift gears to get better traction and keep going. Keep reaching, keep believing in yourself. Think about it. Marathon runners are masters of endurance. After running long distances, often under harsh conditions, These athletes report feeling an extreme sense of elation known as runner's high. One runner I know described it as a feeling that I can do anything, that I can run forever. I feel like Superman when that happens. You don't have to be an athlete to experience this kind of high. Persevering through any difficult situation will make you feel like a superhero too. Today's small shift. Look for ways to tap into the divine source of strength and endurance. Read and meditate on Psalm 100, verse 4 and 5. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. For the Lord is good and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. Step 5. Choose to make choices. Every time you state what you want or believe, you are the first to hear it. It's a message to both you and others about what you think is possible. Don't put a ceiling on yourself. Oprah Winfrey. Some days you'll lose and some days you'll win. Some days you'll cry and some days you'll laugh. Whatever it is you're facing, it'll pass, and you'll be faced with the choice of how you'll move on in your life. Maybe you've had a tough upbringing, lost loved ones, been diagnosed with a terminal illness, are raising your children by yourself, or have been divorced and lost all hope. Hold on and know that you always have the power to choose. Some scientists believe that the main thing that distinguishes us from animals is free will. As humans, we have the ability to choose. I love to hear stories of people who were at the bottom of the class in school, or who were cast as losers and failures by an authority figure, yet somehow they chose to defy all that and become wealthy and accomplished in spite of having the odds stacked against them. It happens all the time. Why can it happen for you? The power of choice can bring us closer to or further away from our dreams. Every moment you're breathing and alive is an opportunity to make a choice. Whether it is related to your job, marriage, health, or finances, you have a choice to shift and change each situation. Each choice or decision you make points either to a road of success and happiness or to a path of mediocrity and discontent. I have an artist friend who lived in Cuba for the first 30 years of his life. He refused to join the communist government, so he was harassed all the time. He and his family were often hungry. They were not allowed to have a telephone or the internet or books that weren't approved by the government. His art exhibitions were censored. His family was questioned by authorities, and he was even jailed for trying to flee his homeland. He could have chosen to lie down and die, or become a communist or a criminal. Even in his terrible situation, he had many choices. But he chose to remain optimistic about his future. For years, he studied English, saved what little money he had, and kept waiting for the day when he could finally be free. Eventually, he was able to seek a political asylum in the USA. He became a US citizen and now owns his own successful graphic arts business, all because he made the right choices. What is your situation? Know that you are the captain of this ship called life. Ultimately, the soundness of your choices will determine which direction your life goes. What is it that you need to shift to make the right choices of your life today? Opportunities are everywhere, and they are yours for the taking. The life you seek and yearn for is possible. Choose it. Think about it. Read Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken. It's easy to find on the internet or at the library. Have you ever made a choice that made all the difference? As in Frost's poem, Today's Small Shift. When we have a decision to make, we often spend a lot of time and energy asking other people for their opinions and advice about what we should do. Today, make a shift and look within. Ask yourself what you should do. Trust the answer as if it came from your wisest advisor, because truthfully, it did. Step 6. Procrastination. Stop that thief. Procrastination is the fear of success. People procrastinate because they are afraid of the success that they know will result if they move ahead now. Because success is heavy, carries a lot of responsibility with it, it is much easier to procrastinate and live on the someday I'll philosophy. Dennis Waitley. Isn't it amazing how we get so excited one minute about the need to shift and change our lives, but then we fail to act on that excitement? It is so sad to think of how many beautiful songs were never sung, how many amazing stories were never written, how many wonderful businesses were never started, and how many vexing problems were never solved simply because so many people died without ever pursuing their dreams. I used to look at my own life and that of the people back in my homeland of Zimbabwe, and I was appalled at how many of my friends and former classmates built successful and meaningful lives while I procrastinated and settled for less because of my fears. All the time I wasted before finally wising up and shifting gears. These days, I give trainings, coaching sessions, and counseling services to many people who commit to making changes only to procrastinate and forgo their ambitions. Is this the way you operate too? Think of the things you've always wanted to do, the dreams you've hoped to achieve, the places you've wanted to visit, and the people you've wanted to meet, but you haven't done it because of procrastination. Have you been planning to take your GED and go to college so that you can change your career? Have you wanted more money, yet not done anything to enhance yourself so that you can get that money? Are you finding yourself frustrated with your work or home life because you have not done what you need to do to shift yourself out of neutral? Where there's a will, there's a way. What is your will? What have you been putting off because of time, or children, or your spouse, or your work? Think of the many things you meant to achieve last year that you have yet to act on. Another year is almost over, yet once again you haven't done anything about achieving your resolutions or changing your life. For years, my sister has had a mission and vision to start a software company, but she has not pursued it. I want everything to be perfect first. I want my company to be big and strong from day one, she says. That way, I'll have a better chance of succeeding. That may sound wise, but it's actually procrastination. Waiting for everything to be perfect means waiting for a day that will never, ever come. My sister's dream of owning her own software company will remain just that, a dream. How sad is that? Do not let procrastination steal your dreams or prevent you from fulfilling your resolutions. Shift the way you manage your time. Give up the idea of waiting for the perfect day to come along before taking action. The breakthrough to what you desire doesn't lie in pushing to tomorrow what could have been done yesterday. It only comes when you commit to the dream and start taking steps. The dividing line between those who have their dreams accomplished and those who don't is in the way they manage their time. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. and 5 o'clock a.m. every day, including weekends, because I find that having that extra hour or two in my day makes a difference. For me, planning and writing down what I need to accomplish on a daily basis helps me to stay focused. Anything else that comes my way is just an excuse for me to procrastinate. My goal each day is to check off as much as I can from my to-do list and not add anything that is not of value. Prioritizing helps me immensely. If I find myself wanting to do something that I have not deemed a priority for that day, then I know that procrastination is creeping up on me. Being structured and organized helps me to avoid procrastination. Do I waver at times? Yes, of course I do. And the consequences have occasionally been costly. But as soon as I realize what's happened, I resolve to jump right back in the game and keep doing what I need to do to succeed. The challenge for you is to start thinking and acting as though this were your last day on earth. Shift and do the things that are essential to your progress. There is no room to relax. The responsibility is upon you to do those things you've been created to bring forth. It is now or never. Think about it. When you procrastinate, you are sabotaging the chance for success. Whether the job is big or small, tackling it early on will free you to focus on other things for the rest of the day. There's an old saying that goes, if you've got to eat 3 frogs, eat the biggest one first. What is your biggest frog? Today's small shift. To shift out of procrastination mode, make a master to-do list. Write down everything you can think of what you need to do over the next week or so. Before you go to bed tonight, pick 10 things from the list that you will do tomorrow and schedule them on your calendar, blocking out an appropriate amount of time for each. The next day when you're doing each task, focus completely and do not let anything else distract you. If you complete all 10 tasks, give yourself a pat on the back. Before you go to bed, get out your master list and add any new tasks that came up during the day and pick your top 10 for tomorrow. Repeat this exercise daily, and before you know it, procrastination will be a thing of the past. Step 7. Prepare to succeed. In this world, you've got to hope for the best and prepare for the worst, and take whatever God sends. Lucy Maud Montgomery. Preparation is key to success. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to prepare for the steps you have to take to achieve your ideal life and win your ideal job, partner, and family. I am reminded of the experiment Oprah Winfrey did, in which she gave a lump sum of money to a homeless man and then observed what he did with it. To make a long story short, he blew it all and became homeless again. Why? Because he was not prepared to handle such a large amount of money. The same thing can happen to anyone who yearns to have more money, yet fails to prepare mentally for how to manage it properly. Preparedness is key. Preparedness makes life easier. Don't wait for that right job to fall in your lap and find you unqualified. Don't wait for the right partner to come to you and find you still carrying past hurts and resentments. Don't wait for the money to come to you and find you ignorant about wealth management. Preparedness is key. I remind the students I counsel at a local high school that studying and preparing for a test is key to passing the test and passing the class. Again and again, I notice the difference between those who make it through the classes and those who fail. Preparedness is key. If you knew that a year from now you'll have the chance to be considered for your dream job, what would you do to prepare? Start doing that thing today. Brush up on your skills. Take a class. Practice. Act as if that ideal job offer really is coming and time is running out for you to prepare for it. If you knew you were going to meet your soulmate 6 months from now, what would you do to prepare? Start doing those things today. Talk to a counselor or spiritual advisor about issues that have hurt you in the previous relationships. Start getting in shape. Clear your house of clutter and keep it clean. Act as if that ideal mate is on the way to your front door and time is running out for you to prepare. If you knew that a year from now you'll be earning more money than ever, what would you do to prepare? Start doing those things today. Learn how to create and stick to a budget. Read up on how to invest wisely. Investigate the different kinds of retirement accounts and pick which one you're going to open. Act as if that money is on its way to your bank account and time is running out for you to prepare. Acting as if is a powerful thing. Not only does it actually prepare you for success, but it also opens you up to attract that very thing you desire. We'll cover this more in a later chapter. But for now, just know that your body, your heart, will follow wherever your mind leads. So will the universe. Prepare for tomorrow as if you already have everything your heart desires today. Lasting happiness and success will be your reward. Think about it. When Michael Jordan was first learning to play basketball, he practiced the basics of dribbling, passing, and shooting over and over and over again, day in and day out for years, until the fundamentals of basketball became second nature to him. That way, under the heat and pressure of championship game, he could execute them flawlessly. That's what preparation is all about. Today's small shift. Pick one thing your heart desires and find out what you can do to begin preparing for it as if it were on its way to your life. Who knows? It might actually be on its way. Do that preparatory thing and don't stop until victory is yours. Step 8. Shift out of neutral. In the last analysis, the individual person is responsible for living his own life and for finding himself. If he persists in shifting his responsibility to somebody else, he fails to find out the meaning of his own existence. Thomas Merton. There is immense power in shifting your thoughts, emotions, and self-concept into a more positive mode. Shifting allows us to thrive under pressure and not feel obligated to remain in one place or in a situation that is clearly not conducive to our well-being. Whether it is physical, emotional, or spiritual shifting, changing the way we see ourselves, our past, and our future is critical to our happiness. Shifting our perception or the way we see things and overcoming our fears will allow us to see the truth about ourselves, change our self-beliefs regarding what we can or cannot do, take steps towards being our authentic self and doing what we love, be with those people, spouse, family, and friends who bring out the best in us. Take responsibility for our lives and know that we have choices every day. Learn to face our fears and accept ourselves exactly as we are. Have an I can do it attitude that knows no barriers. Recognize that we have enough resiliency to pull us through any situation. Recognize that we can achieve that which we seek if we commit ourselves. Recognize that we have the power to better ourselves at any given moment. Change situations that appear to be unfair in our lives. When it comes to dealing with the different stages of life or overcoming a miserable situation, change becomes an opportunity for growth. Many miss that opportunity because of fear. In coaching, we say, we either die or we die. At any stage of your life, no matter what your situation is, you have the power to shift to what you love rather than living in misery. Shifting allows you to see every phase of your life through a different lens and allows you to create your life at every phase. There is no better time than today to shift and make your life more meaningful. Think about it. There is a lovely Sanskrit poem that goes, each today well lived makes yesterday a dream of happiness, and each tomorrow a vision of hope. Look, therefore, to this one day, for it and it alone is life. Tomorrow, when you look back at today, will you see a dream of happiness or just another day of being stuck? Whose responsibility is it to turn your today into a day well lived? Today's small shift. If you want to control something, you have to take responsibility for it. Write a letter to yourself in which you acknowledge that your life is your complete and total responsibility. Own up to the mistakes you've made. Forgive yourself for them and vow not to make them again. End the letter by asking your higher power for help in controlling yourself and your destiny. Step 9. Overcome self-doubt. I am not a has-been. I am a will-be. Lauren Bacall. Refuse to sell yourself short. Discover what is unique about you and make that your key to overcoming self-doubt. When I started pursuing my speaking and training and ministering path, I was so afraid that I would not be able to speak before an audience. I'm a good communicator who is comfortable speaking one-on-one or among family and friends. But for some reason, I had major self-doubt about public speaking. But I overcame that doubt because it was so important to achieving my dream. Being open to feedback whenever I spoke, reading about the topic, and taking courses proved that I always had the ability within me. I was just unable to believe in it. Once I overcame that perceived limitation, my life has never been the same. To begin overcoming your perceived limitations and build confidence, try the following. Acknowledge the importance of your dream in your life. Remind yourself that it's okay if you don't get anything right the first time. Remember, Thomas Edison's invention with 1,000 steps. Ask for help from mentors, coaches, or other support systems. They can give you a boost when you're feeling low. It's possible for you to overcome your self-doubt, to set sail and discover strengths you never knew you had. Strive to be the best at what you do, even if it scares you. Improve yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. Try for the extraordinary performance and achieve extraordinary results. This is America, the land of opportunity. This is true for all who live in this country. It's up to you to take advantage of the opportunities despite your fear. Fear will always be there, but it's what you do with the fears you face in each situation that counts. Choose to feel the fear, gather your faith, and do what you need to do anyway. Think about it. Do you want to look back on your life and wonder, what if I had? Of course not. You will never regret the things you try, only the things you didn't try. Today's small shift. Identify one trusted person who supports you in your dream and ask them for help facing your fears. Although you are ultimately responsible for your achievements or lack of them, having a caring person to cheer you on can give you the courage you need to take that next step. Step 10. Access the power of the law of attraction. Your imagination is your preview of life's coming attraction. Albert Einstein. I'm still surprised at how many people have not heard of the amazing secret, which is the law of attraction. The law of attraction simply states that you attract into your life whatever you think about. Your dominant thoughts will find a way to manifest. I can attest to the fact that after I read the book and listened to the CDs of The Secret, my life has changed for the better. Attitude is essential in assuring success in this lifetime. A positive attitude ensures that you make the right shifts to attract and pursue an authentic life. Changing your thoughts will change your life. Opening yourself to exploring and reading about The Secret and other recommendations I will give will make you a no-limit person, a resilient person who will act despite fear. You'll open new doors to unlimited possibilities. and put yourself into a better, more fulfilling personal and professional life. You will attract whatever it is you focus on. If you focus on negativity, guess what? You'll get more negativity. If you focus on and prepare for positive things, guess what? You'll get more positive things. It's true. Try it and see for yourself. Begin to look at what you're attracting to your life on a daily basis. Besides collecting a paycheck every week, are you accomplishing something towards your personal mission each day? If not, ask yourself what you need to shift to get on the right path. Drop your fears and allow yourself the freedom to reach your goals and achieve the unthinkable. Remember, everyone desires more in their life. And as Brian Tracy stated in his article, Moving Upward and Onward, every human being is motivated by something. Your job is to find what motivates you. The power to shift and better yourself is something you can access every day. Choose to find the courage to act despite your fears and achieve the life you dream of. It's time to shift from fear to faith. You already have everything you need to begin your shift. Think about it. The author, Richard Bach, once wrote, "Argue for your limitations, and sure enough, they are yours." Has this been true in your own life? What self-imposed limitations have you attached to yourself? How many times have you told yourself you are not good at relationships, or you're a terrible cook, or you are a bad money manager, or you never lose weight? Would you say those same things to your best friend? Then why would you say them to yourself? Today's small shift. Instead of arguing for your limitations, start arguing for your strengths, talents, and gifts. God gave them to you to use for your own happiness and that of others. Attract more goodness by focusing on those attributes and spreading them around. Some final words. The great and famous psychologist Abraham Maslow said that the story of the human race is the story of people selling themselves short. Maslow said people have a tendency to settle for far less from life than they are truly capable of. Many people are fighting stress, depression, and anxiety related to their employment, family, or personal lives, and yet all it will take to make it better is a subtle shifting of the mind. Shift the way you look at and interpret situations. Shift the way you speak about yourself and your life. Shift the way you see yourself and others. If you do those things, you will shift the direction your life takes from this moment on. Remember that you will possess what you profess. Focus on speaking good to every situation and expect the best out of every situation. When I first came to the United States, I thought everything would be easy. I expected to graduate and go back to Zimbabwe and have a great life. Instead, I faced situations that brought me to my knees, that brought me back to searching for that inner strength and resilience that can only come from God. I have learned to take responsibility for my actions, to simplify certain aspects of my life that were getting in my way, to change jobs when I had to separate from friends, lovers, and activities that were no longer serving a purpose in my life, to ask for forgiveness and to allow myself to celebrate my life with all its ups and downs. I now know that every successful life is comprised of many failures, many risks, and a lot of sacrifices. I'm not afraid of going out and risking it all. Opportunities are everywhere when you're ready to see them and pursue them with an open heart and a non-judgmental personality. I have learned to respect and enjoy each moment that I pass through. Most of all, I have learned that my life path has already been laid out and I just have to shift to find my higher purpose. There shall be no regrets, only lessons along the way. I have learned that fear is a natural feeling, that I can overcome by opening myself to becoming a student of life. That nothing I will ever face is unique to my life only. Someone else has already overcome every obstacle I will face. My friends, if we really want to see God's or our higher power's fingerprints upon the purpose of our lives and work, we must monitor and shift our thinking, our actions, and our expectations. It's more than just positive thinking. It is really about activating your faith despite the fears you're experiencing. Today is the day to begin your change. Today is the day to shift from fear to faith.
Are you ready to live your best life? You deserve to wake up in the morning feeling excited about the day ahead. Don't waste any more time putting off your heart's desires. Embrace your passionate, joyful life with our brand new Unstoppable Renew You Love Your Life 90-day coaching program. Discover what makes your heart sing. Together we'll set meaningful goals and craft a path to a life you absolutely love. Are you ready to be free, fearless, and unstoppable? Visit our website at www.DrStem.com to learn more and book a free discovery call.